SpaceUK was seemingly the perfect player in many people's eyes, but on April the 25th, 2023, all of this would change, and Space would be exposed for the fraud he really was. But how did we get to this point in the first place? To answer that, we need to go back in time to April of 2020, when SpaceUK would start off like most players. A month after starting, he would complete a popular level by the name of DeCode as his first demon. Most assumed he would complete other easy demons such as the Nightmare by Jax or Speed Racer, but he performed a jump to an awe-inspiring level for someone of his skill. His second demon was Windy Landscape. SpaceUK had successfully conducted a massive jump in difficulty, and this was only the start, as he wouldn't stop there. After this, he would subsequently get a record of 77% on Cataclysm. Skipping ahead to his fourth demon completion, he would do Wasureta. At the time, Wasureta was in the top 20, and Space jumping to this from levels like Windy Landscape and Leyak was a truly impressive spectacle to behold. His insane progress at such a quick pace was showing signs that he had the potential to be one of the best players in the game. 4 months would come and go until we would see the next hardest demon. The next jump left many bewildered and shocked. Space, on December 12th, 2020, would supposedly complete the Golden, at the time number 2 on the list, which had dethroned Tartarus as the hardest demon at one point. However, this completion, unbeknownst to everyone, marked the beginning of his lies, but we'll discuss that later. For now, we shall continue to highlight his rise to prominence. Space would go on a rampage of levels in 2021, completing levels such as Kinos and Crimson Planet. Then he went on to complete Tartarus by Riot, which only took Space 27,000 attempts, which was relatively low for a level like Tartarus, and subsequently was the attempt record for lowest attempts on the level. After this, he would go on to complete Zodiac, which meant he'd beaten the top 5 at the time. Then, it became the top 10, and next, the top 20. Space seemingly dominated the playing field of Geometry Dash and unknowingly following the footsteps of top player nSwish at the time. The next step for SpaceUK would be a verification that we all know about now, Slaughterhouse by Iced Cave, which had been handed out to a few other top players and Space himself. Essentially, it became a race to see who could beat it first, and on October the 24th, 2021, Space would seemingly verify Slaughterhouse within a week and 40,000 attempts, which prompted a lackluster reaction to say the least.
I can't fucking react, otherwise I'm gonna cough so much.
Once done, he began his quest to complete the entire main list, and on May 7th, 2022, after completing Sephiroth, he would finally achieve his goal. After completing the main list, Space took a step back, but still claimed many first victor titles on levels such as Abyss of Darkness and Acheron, proving that he was still a force to be reckoned with within the playing community. Skipping ahead, on March the 24th, 2023, he would complete Kyuki, and he'd also been surpassed by a player named Zoink, and it seemed his reign as the best was finally coming to an end. But on April the 24th of 2023, everything would change, and SpaceUK's career and supposedly legitimate legacy eventually came crashing down before him. On April the 24th, SpaceUK's record on Acheron had been removed and was under consideration by the Demonlist mod team. Other records followed this on levels such as the Hallucination and Oblivion. Soon, SpaceUK's records would be reinstated after this legitimacy check, but a list mod by the name of Zoe continued the investigation into SpaceUK. She would upload a video titled SpaceUK Exposed and would delve deep into the topic of his clicks on the hallucination completion video. She took notice of the fact that when played frame by frame, Space's clicks were inconsistent. Some clicks occurred 1 frame late, and some as late as 5 frames, off from the input shown on the screen. Some clicks even occurred up to 2 frames early. This apparent inconsistency led Pequo and many others to believe that SpaceUK was using a macro after noticing an extra unnecessary click within the hallucination video. Another factor to consider when talking about SpaceUK hacking is that he used no cheat indicator to show that he wasn't hacking. This, coupled with the apparent use of a macro or bot, led Space to go on Twitter and make a statement. It read, "Every main list after Sephiroth, main list completion on May 8th, 2022, was hacked. I lost interest in actually playing the game and wanted to see how long I could go without being caught." Still, the list team and Pequo expressed confidence that all of SpaceUK's records were legitimate. This led him to be a highly skilled player still, but it would leave a crack in his already crumbling legitimacy. Then on April the 25th, Paquo would drop a bombshell that would alter the course of the game and its community for the rest of its lifespan. Paquo would confirm that nearly every single completion Space uploaded was done using an external tool called ZBot, a program that allowed for botted completion of said levels. But how did we know if the completions were botted? We must carefully analyze the level complete screen to answer that question. Typically, the drop-down complete text size is 1004 pixels, while using ZBot it's only 940 pixels. This was a way the developer of said software could show when a level is being hacked by a player or not, and with this revelation, SpaceUK's facade came crumbling down. After this, Space disappeared from Twitter and YouTube, leaving a community that looked up to him in utter shock and disbelief about the situation. SpaceUK, the former best player, had lied and cheated his way to the top and got away with it for so long, only to find out that it was all a lie. The situation topped all previous hacking scandals that came before it. Even the Cyclic case couldn't even come close to this. In the wake of this situation, many creators of all sizes voiced their opinions about the entire scandal. Still, this also had another whirlwind of effects on the community. The first of which is that Doggy became the official verifier of Slaughterhouse, which he was obviously shocked and happy about, since he had a decent connection with the level, and he would also technically be the winner of the Best Player awards in 2022. Additionally, several other players would obtain their rightful first victor titles on several high-end extreme demons. Another side effect of the situation, surprisingly enough, was Riot returning to YouTube to tease his next level, and likely the final top 1 level he will ever make, called Eternal. In the description, he mentioned that this hacking scandal was a driving factor for why he teased it early, and he said, "People like Space are selfish. They will only confess when their back is against the wall, resistant till the end. After the confession is done, people quickly forgive and forget. This kind of nonchalant attitude towards cheating is why things like this keep happening, 10 years on from the game's release. I hope that with such a monumental exposing of a player who reigned supreme over the community for nearly 2 years, the attitude will finally shift." And in another quote, he said that this project will likely be my last in Geometry Dash, and it is intended to inspire all players to shoot for the stars. With enough hard work and dedication, you can achieve anything. This is something I believed in, and it's what helped me create a name for myself within this community. With this, the community was hyped to see another Riot collab level in the works, and that's all of the aftermaths of this situation. But was this the last we would hear of SpaceUK? On May 5th, 2023, SpaceUK would return to the game to finish off a level he'd previously no-clipped. It was the Golden, with cheat indicators and all. Then on May 14th, 2023, he would upload Tartarus, making this his hardest demon completion in Geometry Dash. After this, he had went dark, and we haven't heard from him since, but it shows how much potential he had as a top player. Despite all the hacking he'd done, he still managed to right the wrong that started this hacking spree in the first place. Thank you guys for sticking with me throughout this video in the past 2.5 years of my life on Geometry Dash. It really means the world to me. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload, and also like the video and share it around. This has been your host, Storm, and goodbye.